After that great introduction, we don't need to introduce ourselves. So we'll go straight to the acknowledgement of country. So we begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people and the other people whose lands you're from and we're from, traditional custodians of the land on which we gather today, and we pay our respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. We also extend our respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today. So, imagine, if you will, a group of tech-curious rogues in their digital caravan driving down through a landscape of open educational resource plains and driving down version-controlled laneways to a magical destination. So come along, and this is the most interesting slide, so you can check out after this one. So come along on our presentation and learn about our journey, the forks in the road, merging lanes, dead ends, speed bumps, and all.
So what we're talking about today is a project that began as a kind of weird idea before the pandemic, a bit of a vision, if you like, and over time has become a reality. And that reality is a project that is kind of created a new process, a new product and a new community, most especially, across Australia and New Zealand, all during a time in which it was very difficult or impossible for us to actually get together in person. But we've managed, in any case, to build a wonderful network of colleagues keen to build new solutions to collective problems, using new techniques, new skills, helping each other with a great sense of adventure, openness and fun. So the idea for the project kind of flew in, you know, like some of those best ideas, unannounced, not really when you're ready to have it, and it just nestled in, sat in my lap and wouldn't go away. And it came from this tweet, someone tagged me in a tweet late 2019, and the question in the tweet was asking about the existence of a book that teaches modern, not quite technical skills. Does this exist? The responses kind of made it clear that there was no book, nobody knew anything about one. It made it clear that there was actually a need for one, and it kind of also just auto-completed a chapter outline. So it was pretty, you know, exciting to sort of see this just grow out like that. So in 2020, you know, after this idea wouldn't leave me alone, I set about working on it and how we might be able to achieve something like this. Because obviously something about those not quite technical skills, and we can define those later, it's not something that people are going to do with a paper book, right? It's just not going to work that way. So the first idea, I'd heard about book sprints before, and I thought, oh, that's an awesome idea for a book sprint, get a bunch of people together, 5 days, we'll write this book. Then the pandemic hit. The idea of getting 5 people in a room for like years was just not going to happen. So we kind of sat back, thought about it again, and another few things aligned more broadly over that first year of the pandemic. So I was able to put together a couple of different concepts and present this idea to the Council of Australian University Libraries Digital Dexterity Champions Network. So this is a group of people that represent all of the university libraries in Australia. And so a core team then of people from that group joined me in turning this book into a reality. So it was a really enthusiastic welcome to the idea, which was great.
And I'll just tell you a bit more about that project. So we're supported by CAUL, which is, as Sara said, the Council of Australian University Librarians, and so what the Digital Dexterity Champions Network is we've got a representative from university libraries in both Australia and New Zealand, and we come together as champions amongst our colleagues. So our role is to drive change internally and to help embed positive changes in the workplace. So to do this, we promote the framework, and we lead it. We promote other things to do with it. We take part in local digital dexterity initiatives, and we participate in the community of practice. And that community practice has actually evolved quite a bit in the last couple of years, and we've divided into subgroups, and we chop and change between the groups and that sort of thing. So where the Gitbook project is nestled in there. So we're supported by AARNet and CAUL, and we're a diverse team of everything from managers to library technicians across Australia and New Zealand. And we're using peer learning and a lot of experimentation to acquire new skills and in a combination of software sharing platforms and static web to achieve affordable and flexible alternatives to traditional publishing so that we can create this open source guidebook to digital skills in our community. So this framework, published in 2019, ended up providing the structure for the chapter outline. And for each of these pieces is a chapter title, and then it's subdivided into that.
So one of the elements that really gave life to this living book of digital skills, that we like to call it, is related to something called the carpentries. And talking around the last couple of days, I found that it's still not something that everyone knows about. So the carpentries is a global project made up of a community of instructors and supporters with the mission to teach foundational computational and data science skills to researchers. It's a very big, very passionate community around the world. So what the carpentries do is they create open source workshop materials, and they use this process of Git and GitHub to create and maintain those resources. So it's all a very quickly changing world, what we're talking about. And so this platform that we're using, GitHub, which is a software hosting site, and is based on Git, which is a distributed version control system, allows us to work together to create and maintain collaboratively a resource that we can all use. GitHub is free and it's open to all, so it enables community participation, which is an essential part of our group's process, and we'll be inviting you to join us to contribute. This allows such an ease to update and edit the materials, and we have a kind of approved process managed by our core team, but it means that anyone can suggest things about the book. There's something in there that doesn't work, a link is broken, there's a spelling mistake, whatever it is, or there's just something missing. So it means that people can contribute openly using this process. So Gitbook is then an extension of that Git process, and that's an open source tool for building online books. It doesn't actually really look like a book, it kind of looks like a website with a menu down the side, but it's sort of comfortable enough for us as kind of library people to think, yep, we can get in there and have a go. So you use Git and something called Markdown, which is a markup editing language, to create these very simple pages. Being open source means that we can have lots of people see and contribute to the work. And the Git process means that none of the stuff is ever deleted. It can be changed and muted, but because it's a version control system, you're actually never losing anything. So if you're looking for something that will do that, we can recommend this. It's not a walk in the park, I would say, to start out, but it's definitely worth having a look at to see. Because AARNet is a not-for-profit, I registered the book for free, so we haven't paid anything to do this. So even with continual edits, no content is ever deleted, it's all versioned and immutable, so you can merge and archive drafts as you wish, which I think is important for this sort of book. Like, we do need to make constant updates on it. And the lovely thing is that anyone can submit material or suggestions, changes. There's something called issues where you can write and just say, look, I don't think this is correct. This text needs to be changed. So it's sort of open to what's the word, scrutiny, I suppose, the back end as well as the front, yeah? So the front is all nice and shiny and very easy for people who have never used Git before. The back is a little bit more of a challenge. What we did, because the team basically had never experienced Git, we hadn't used it before, a few people had heard of it, we got some training through the Australian Research Data Commons training team, and they used the Carpentries Git lesson. So if you're looking for a lesson, I can suggest the Carpentries, it's under Library Carpentry. They have a Git lesson, so you can go through that, and it's done in a way that is for us, not for software developers, because basically Git and GitHub is for software developers, and they have a way of using language that can be quite exclusive, I suppose, for the rest of us. So if you're looking for resources, have a look out in Library World, because they are there. And what we did, because we were nervous about it, we were worried about starting straight out with the book, we actually created a cookbook to start with, just nothing to do with the content that we were thinking of, but just to get used to the system. So we created a Gitbook cookbook with, you know, photographs and recipes and stuff like that, and that just helped the team relax and get into not worrying so much about the content, just getting used to the skills, and then we launched the book after that once we had felt a bit more confident. Git, though, is not like riding a bike. It is more like going to the gym. You need to keep it up because you can lose it, and we consistently, all of us, lose it, but all of us together help each other out. So I've forgotten how to do this. There'll be someone in the group that can help. So it's tricky, but it's been really great for us to have a go. But we're still learning.
And I'd just like to shout out to one of our members, Katie Mills, who did the logo for the book, the Living Book of Digital Skills, because we couldn't think of a name, and she just designed that. She's our guru there. So, the actual product. So we've got the chapters built on the Digital Dex framework, puzzle pieces, and what we've got is we've got different proficiency levels, and the interesting thing that we found in the last couple of weeks was that not all subjects need a proficiency level. So for example, discerning fake news, you don't have developing skilled and adept. You've just got discerning fake news, and there's a couple other ones as well. So we're gonna have to rejig that a bit. But basically what we've got is, and Sara explained it best to the whole group, it's like a little Wikipedia page. You go in, you get your information, couple sentences, couple paragraphs, and then there could be links out to further information if you want to know, if you want to know more. So we've got all the different topics, and anyone can submit on any topic. So it doesn't matter whether all the proficiency levels are complete. And if you want to write a sentence or two, that's fine. If you want to co-write, that's fine as well. So anyone can submit anything. And right now, we've got a jigsaw, and we just need to put all the pieces together. And we keep telling ourselves we need to write. So keep writing, saying, yep, I'll write that, and we never do. You know, we make these promises to ourselves, and it never happens. So someone came up with was it you that came up with the great idea?
Don't blame me.
Okay. Somebody came up with the idea of having a shut up and write session. So basically what you do is you just get together, shut up and write. And so we all in our last meeting decided on what we were doing for this session, and my wonderful colleague explained it best to me. We were preparing for a workshop at Alia, and Kat Kane said, let's turn cameras off, we'll turn the mic off, we'll write, and then come back. So basically, you've got someone with a timer, and it's usually about 25 minutes. They set the timer, you write for that amount, and then you get a 5-minute break. So this session, the participants, we had about 14, they were told to get up, walk away from their desk, find something from nature, bring it back. So people brought back a leaf or that sort of thing, and then sit back and do it again. So we're going to have another Shut Up and Write session, I think on Monday. So hopefully we'll be populating the book more and more as we have more of these Shut Up and Write sessions. So one of the wonderful things about this project is the people. We have created this amazing community where, you know where you're sort of at work and you're always afraid to say, oh, I don't know how to do that, and if I say that, I'll look really stupid. Well, one day we were having a meeting and someone put up their hand and said, oh man, I can't remember how to do that. And then someone else said, oh, neither can I. So we decided that, we're going to use this safe space as a place to share, and however many times we have to repeat whether we know something or not, so be it. So everybody, we've gotten feedback from everybody, and they've said the same thing. It's a safe space. I feel comfortable admitting my failures. And as Sara said earlier, if you don't remember something, if you don't know something, chances are someone else in the group will remember and will go through it with you, or help you figure it out, or check your work after you've done it. So that's really, really helpful.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I've noticed actually some of the newer members who are coming into the group after we had sort of gone through that establishment phase hit a point and they go, oh, I don't think I'm right for the group, and they'll call me aside and say, Sara, I'm not really sure, I don't really know what I'm doing. And so we have to do a little bit of a counselling session, if you like, about that's exactly why we're all here, because we don't know, and we're here to learn, and we're here to support each other. And once we go through all of that, confidence returns, and we set up that kind of culture of not knowing, not being experts, kind of messing things up fairly regularly, making mistakes. I deleted a whole branch of something on a Git thing, and, it happens. Nobody dies. So we've kind of really made it a very big part of the group. So how can you join us? You can definitely talk to us afterwards. We would love you to go to the tiny link there, have a little bit of a scoot around. It's not a great amount of content in there. We've spent a lot of time setting up the rules. We've got copyright stuff. We've got a code of conduct. We've got a whole range of things. The content is sort of what's being built now. So if you go in there and you see in the requested articles page something that you know something about and you feel happy to share, then definitely join us. Pop that content in. It's got to be kind of plain language, something for every person. So if there are a few articles in there that will give you a bit of an idea of the tone or the style, we're not really heavy. Someone asked us yesterday about like review and all that. We haven't really developed a review process as such. We don't want it to be too kind of peer reviewy or anything like that. We figure it'll be a little bit self-correcting in a sense. So there's not a lot to be concerned about, I think, in terms of, is my stuff good enough? I think if you think it's good enough, then I think that's okay. So, and we're happy to help, but it's a technical guidebook. It's not an academic article or product in that sense. So it's really just, you've got a group of people who are learning how to do screencasting for the first time. They've never even heard the term screencasting. This could be the page that you go to when you're working with those people to say, this is what screencasting is. Here's a few suggestions made by a sane librarian and not some crazy person trying to sell you something, right? Which has been part of the problem. So there's plenty of ways that you can join us. We have meetings once every fortnight. We're going to be doing these Shut Up and Write sessions, so definitely check it out on the GitHub. If you're not really keen about GitHub, then you can email us as well.
So, as Sara said, get in touch with us if you want to write something, if you want to review something, you're more than welcome to join along. We can send you a link to the Shut Up and Write sessions as well. And the other thing, I haven't told you this yet. Sorry, Sara, but we thought maybe we could use Shut Up and Write sessions to edit things as well, because we were going over, can someone look over what I've written? What if there's a typo, that sort of thing. So we might use that. Bring along something you've written and go through it. We could make breakout rooms in the Zoom session, so that sort of thing. Sorry to drop that bombshell on you.
Sounds like a great idea.
But yes, get in touch with us. Our details are here. And as Sara said, we'd love to talk to you after if you have any other questions.
Thank you.
Into the microphone. Thank you so much. And thank you as well for developing a resource which will not only help us at work, but in our lives while we're trying to be human as well. So I really appreciate that. That is fantastic. We have a few questions, from the audience. And the first one is, your group has emerged from academic libraries, grounding and industry bodies. Would your community be open to public, specialist and school librarians and/or archives and records and other colleagues?
Please.
Yeah.
Please. That's who we're missing. Absolutely. It's for everybody.
Diversity is always key. Yeah. So another question. With many contributors with the ability to contribute potentially anything, have you ever had conflicting views for one topic?
No, we haven't yet. It's not to say that it won't happen. And actually, the thing that did just happen recently is that we had a Shut Up and Write session and 2 people wrote on the same topic. So we hadn't kind of figured out how you kind of, I don't know what the official term is, like bags a topic. So, there's a bunch of things that we're going to have to figure out as we go. And that's just, I don't know that we're ever going to be able to prevent any of those things. And then what would happen if there was a conflict would be an interesting, we'll have to have a council of serious people or something, I don't know. Yeah, we need to work a few things out for sure.
That sounds reasonable. Or maybe it could just be like Wikipedia, where it's sort of, you've got all these people that sort of have, not conflicting voices, but they want to add something in and it just evens itself out eventually. Yeah, why not? This is, I guess, maybe a question that's sort of in the present, but also sort of looking forward. How do you assess the success of Gitbook, or how are you looking to assess that success?
Can I answer that one? I am going to be sneaky here and say we've already been a success, because what we've done is create a community and a learning space, and we've done a huge amount of skill building. One of our teams got a promotion, like a different team already, because of the stuff that we've been doing. Another librarian said she came out of a kind of IT-related meeting and just nailed it. She said, oh my God, I understood everything they were talking about, because they were talking about Git and GitHub. And, it was because of our project that she knew that. And because of the way we all have bonded, I suppose, as a group, I feel like the community is really the project, and the product is a kind of byproduct, like a side effect in a way, which doesn't mean that it doesn't have great value and won't, it could have, but I kind of set it up that if it didn't go anywhere, if we didn't get content, if people sort of went, oh, I've got no energy for this, I don't care, it wouldn't matter, we've still won. So I feel like that's a future problem that we'll need to worry about, but I don't worry about it at the moment. I feel like we've already won, yeah.
That's great. And so, hypothetical situation, you are a person doing the question and answer thing, and you're going to go home and you're going to forget that tiny link. How do I find this by searching the internet? And particularly because with open source resources, it's hard to know what's there. So if I type this into Google, where's this going to turn up for me?
Well, we've done a couple of articles on the Digital Dexterity blog. So there is a blog for Digital Dexterity. It'll go in there. I can put it on Twitter, so you can tweet me as well, and I'll put it on Twitter with the Vala hashtag. But yeah, Googling it's not going to work. It is in GitHub. I don't know how you search it in GitHub though. Yeah, I would go for the Digital Dexterity Champions blog as the first call. If you can remember that bit, it'll come up in a blog there, yeah.
And I think this is a question that I think I know the answer for, but I'm going to answer anyway. Can a member of the audience share this with their library diploma class?
Hell yeah.
Yes. And I'd also like to give you an opportunity to really plug library carpentries, because like, Git, it's weird when you're using it through the command line, but it's really, there are other ways to use it, and it's not scary, and it's a wonderful tool. So I think you've already plugged it, so maybe me mentioning this is completely useless, but I have logged on there. Those resources are fantastic, and as Sara says, they're written for librarians, not for software developers. So you don't have to look around on the internet for different resources with different tones. And also Markdown. Markdown's a really fun way, if you've never done it, to sort of pretend that you're coding.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Totally is.
And
Yeah.
it's like, it takes away all that annoyance of using Microsoft Word and tabbing things across. It's just, it solves all of your problems.
Yeah. Oh, look, the day I managed to get a table from Markdown, like I was there all day, you know, sweaty and sort of, I don't know, Albert Einstein hair kind of thing. And I was just like, it was such a great satisfaction. It is a really good first baby steps just to kind of give it a go and everything. And yeah, so much Markdown in GitHub and Git, and then, you know, you can use it in a range of different situations, and that's why it's so handy, because it will format in all these different platforms. So it's a really good, neat little skill to use, yeah.
Yeah, and amazing adrenaline rush when you get it right. I've had that same struggle with the table. Just, why won't you work? I got you. So that's about it for now. The final question, I think, is can we access this cookbook that you made?
Oh, I don't know if you want to. There were some weird discussions in there and some funny things that we did about, you know, cookies and things. So I wouldn't, no. This is a call to action, make your own cookbook in Gitbook.
Yeah, I do.
Well, thank you so much, Sara and Nica. I'm going to present you with your limited edition Barless speaking pill, which is not a pill, a pin. And we've about 10:25, which is about now, we're going to head upstairs for morning tea, and we'll see you in our later session. So thank you so much.